Welcome to 13 on Your Side's edition of Hot Ones. I'm Blake Hansen. Joining me is my partner in crime, Veronica Ortega. We've been doing this on the weekend mornings for almost 2 years now. And one thing, we have a lot in common. One thing that we really bond over is food, and specifically stuff that has spice in it.
Oh yeah.
So in honor of National Chicken Wing Day, the 29th of July, we're gonna eat some chicken wings. Are you ready to eat?
I am, Blake. Thanks to our friends over at the Detroit Wing Company. They're making our Hot Ones challenge come true. Let's just dig right in. Why did you want to become a meteorologist?
That's a really good question. Good, this is a basic wing, by the way. Not much heat. Why did I want to become a meteorologist? The real answer to this is that there is no answer. I've been told, since I was a little kid, that when I was little, I would watch the Weather Channel nonstop at my grandparents' place. Whenever it would be changed over to cartoons, I would start crying.
Okay.
You tell me why a 5-year-old Blake Hansen started crying when cartoons came on instead of the Weather Channel.
I have no idea. That's so unique.
That went true, and I loved science. I was a little nerdy growing up, and it just kind of took off from there, and it was a passion, and I thought it was really cool to stick to something because a lot of kids, you know, when they ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. Sure. And so I wanted to become a weatherman, and push came to shove, and we went through school, went to CMU, Fire Up Chips, went through the program, worked some time up in northern Michigan, and now here, and I love it ever since. What do you think about the wing, by the way?
I think it's good. Honey barbecue is a good, solid flavor. It's sweet, it's mild, so if you're not a big fan of spice, this is a good choice.
This is where you enjoy the wing itself. This is the spice is okay.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about heat here. All right, your question. Have you always wanted to become a journalist?
Okay, so the answer is no. I went through a period of time in my life where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be. Initially, I was either gonna go into teaching or I was gonna go to law school, but then I decided I didn't want to do any of those things. And so I wanted to do something new and different every single day. I wanted to tell stories, and that just kind of naturally led into journalism. I do have a passion for history, and you know, there's that old saying that journalists write the first draft of history, and that kind of really resonated with me, and that's why I decided to become a journalist.
As much as I love heat, garlic Parmesan, Parmesan garlic, however you want to put it, this is my favorite sauce on a wing.
Is it? Okay, why is it your favorite?
I think in any element, it just has that taste to it. I don't know why, I just could crush dozens of these. Maybe not in one sitting, I hope not dozens in one sitting, but you get the point.
Garlic parm and lemon pepper, also like a buffalo, would be my go-tos whenever I go to any chicken wing place.
It's a good taste.
Is it? Okay, I'm gonna dig it.
Again, no spice here on the garlic Parmesan, unless you're real sensitive to heat, but it's good. So the third wing now, we are trying sweet heat.
And these are Detroit Wing Company's brand new chicken fingers. They're chicken tenders.
How do you feel about the chicken finger?
I love chicken, so so I am on board.
I know it's National Chicken Wing Day, but you know.
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna slip in some chicken tenders. It's fine.
We're gonna start with some sweet heat. Dig in there.
I'm going for it. Uh-oh, I made a mess.
You gotta be messy with wings. All right. Because of your years of being in journalism, you have made your way around a good chunk of the country, at least different places, different cultures. Explain some of the places that you have worked with, and what is the biggest challenge? You're originally from Chicago.
Right.
What are the challenges of learning a new place and telling the story of those individuals of that specific culture? Because there are different cultures around the country.
Yeah, that's very true. So I've lived in a number of places around the country. My first reporting job was in Lincoln, Nebraska. Then I was in South Bend, Indiana, then Fayetteville, Arkansas, and now Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I've been around quite a bit. And it's always challenging, especially when you're coming from a big city to a small city, you know, it's very different. The environment, the atmosphere, the people, and I think that's one of the inherent challenges of going to a new place, but as a journalist, your job is to be impartial and to get both sides of the story, and that's something I always strive to do in any city that I'm living in.
I love it.
I know, thank you. So that was the sweet heat.
Sweet heat, yeah.
Not hot in my opinion, but still
It's sweet. There's sweetness
yeah, it's
there.
definitely sweet, and it was yummy.
No, it's very good. I'm enjoying it. Again, am I tempting the milk? By the way,
Yeah.
obviously I know the right pronunciation, but do you have any slang to milk? Is it milk or milk?
Ooh. Are you asking if I have like a Midwest accent?
A little bit, yeah.
Let me see.
Because I know I have an accent.
Milk.
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 Milk. Now we're saying it both wrong.
Yeah. Oh God.
Speaking of accents, I have been told I have a very strong Michigan accent.
What is a Michigan accent?
I think it's a
sound
lot
like?
of pronunciating the A's a lot.
Okay. I do a Midwest pronunciation. Like I will say aunt,
Ant.
not aunt.
No,
We say aunt.
ants. Yep. I don't know. There's some other things that I just elongate the A's or at least blur the lines when it comes to certain words.
Okay.
I don't realize it, but
Right.
that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Product of being a Michigander for all 28 years of my life.
That's right.
So,
Okay. So it's my question.
your
now.
question now.
And we're
We
gonna
are
be to Firecracker, right?
We're going to Firecracker now.
Okay. So, Blake, what is your favorite part about working with me?
Ooh,
On the hot seat now.
putting me on the hot seat. All right, I gotta have a bite of this first, though, right?
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
All right, the heat picking up a little bit. Oh yeah, you feel it?
Oh,
You saw.
it builds.
All right, it started to build.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting. What's my favorite part of working with you?
Yeah.
It's the expertise that we have talked about. It's the professionalism, but also you know how to differentiate when it's time to have fun and when it's time to have serious. Not saying it's anyone here or anyone in general, but there are times I think in journalism, being on TV news, that we lose that sight of when it's time to have fun, be personable with the people we're broadcasting to, the viewers, but there's also a time to be serious as well. And you know how to really key on that really well, and that speaks to your professionalism, your time in this industry. And over the last year and a half, we have bonded so much chemistry, and that's why we're doing this right here.
Oh, I love that. That's a great answer. This one has been the hottest so far. This is the Firecracker sauce. I really like it, but it's not, I still don't think I need milk yet.
No.
No.
No, yeah, I don't even know if it's a 5 on my list out of 10 in terms of spice. It's definitely there. Because the last
Yeah.
3 had no spice.
Yeah.
But I'm digging in still, like this is no problem.
Yeah. And it, again, it definitely builds, like you start off like not really sure where it's going, but then the more you eat it, the more that heat builds over time.
This is buffalo. This is starting to get to the top here. Like they're top 3 in terms of heat. That's what they say. So my question to you is, I want you to fast forward. I want you to think of when you're 80 years old and you're looking back. What is one thing that you want people to know about you that you think that you're not able to show on TV or on broadcasting as a journalist because you got to show your even keel on both sides of whatever story you're reporting on. But what is something that you want people to know about you, whether it's anything from a personal standpoint, a hobby you enjoy? What's something that stands out to you that you want people to know about you?
Oh, wow.
Take a bite real quick.
Yeah, that's deep.
It doesn't have to be too deep, but just something in general.
Okay.
It's starting to build a little bit, the heat, by the way. A little bit.
Yeah, well, I felt that one
I
right
haven't
away.
had anything to drink in about
Yeah.
6 wings now either, so.
Wow. Nope, not yet.
Not yet?
We're trying to avoid the milk. Okay, so what do I want people to know about me and remember about me, and
Yeah, when you're looking back, you know.
when I'm looking back at 80, when I'm an old lady?
Or what's something that you hope to at least accomplish? What is a goal maybe that when you look back that you're like, I did this, I'm proud of myself, and I want people to know about it?
Well, I think that the biggest thing for me is, and another one of the reasons why I became a journalist is because I want to make an impact. Mm-hmm. And my favorite stories, I burped a little.
It's all right, the heat's getting us a little bit now.
My favorite stories to tell are the stories that are human interest stories, that usually they're feature stories, but those are the stories that make people feel something. I want people to watch my stories and feel something, whether that's happiness, whether that's sadness, whether that's anger, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they need to feel some sort of emotion. And if they do, then I know that I've really made an impact, and that's what I strive to do every day.
And when you talk about these stories, has that also influenced you as a person? A follow-up question to this.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes I'll tell a story and not necessarily knowing what I'm getting myself into at the time, and then I, go through the process, the shoot and the interviews and all of that, and I learn something new and different, and it might change my perspective on things. It might motivate me to become more involved, That's certainly the case with animal adoption and rescue. I became a foster parent because I did a story about a litter of puppies that were dumped in a dumpster. Luckily, they were rescued and taken in by a foster-based rescue. And after I told that story, I went up to the rescue organization and I said, hey, if you ever need any more fosters, I want to volunteer. It's how I got Jingles. I'm a foster fail. And
shout out Jingles, by the way.
My baby.
We gotta have a shout out
My
Jingles.
baby.
Yes.
And it's the reason why I'm so passionate about adoption and fostering and rescue.
I love it.
This one's hot.
This one was hot.
Yeah.
I still ate the wing. I will say I'm internally feeling my body temperature rise a little bit. Again, have not had any drink, and I'm staying away from that milk until Veronica budges as well.
I do want to say that this one made me a little teary-eyed, just a little bit.
Opening up the sinuses a little bit. Yeah, the heat's building a little bit on that one. That Firecracker one, though, I say that's one of favorite so far.
This one's the hot garlic.
Hot garlic.
Okay, that's allegedly their hottest
That's
wing.
the top of their sauce.
Ooh, okay. My question to you on this final wing, Blake. You recently became a dad to baby Cameron. He's only about 2 weeks old now.
Yup.
What's been the biggest surprise of fatherhood for you so far?
The biggest surprise.
Yeah.
And if I start crying, it's because of the wing.
Right.
The biggest surprise is that I never realized how much I can love a human being. I love my wife, and we have a great connection. But there is something different that I think many people tell you before you have a child, like there's nothing like anything else in the world. And you think, okay, whatever. People just saying things. No, it's actually very true. And I think it especially if you do have that type of mindset as a human, that you want to be a good person, you want to strive to be better, that when you look at your son or daughter, whatever it may be, there's just something there when you see something so innocent, something that is trying to just learn basic things, but you're the ship sailing it. And I think that is the biggest surprise that I have felt the last 2 weeks, and I think something that will be with me probably until the day I go. With Cameron is that every step of the way, no matter if he's 2 weeks old, he's 2 years old, or he's 20 to 40 years old, stuff that I see in his life and for future kids, hopefully, that will always be a surprise to me, and how proud I can be as a dad.
Oh, I love that answer, Blake. That was so good. I feel that same way about Jingles.
But, and that's the thing too, is that I think
That's my baby.
That is your baby, and it's I have my dog, my cat as well, and I feel the same way about them as well. It's all in different perspectives. It doesn't mean that one is lesser than the other by any means, but it's just one of those things. No matter what, if it's a furry friend or it's a little human being, they all have special places in our
Yeah.
heart, and I think it's just all different perspective-wise. But I also want to say, in terms of having a newborn, it's also enhanced my relationship with my wife, and seeing her as a mother is just astounding to me. It is one of the coolest things I've been a part of, and I just can't wait to continue the journey.
Aw, that's so great. Cheers to you,
Cheers.
Lauren,
I kinda,
and baby Cameron.
I half ate this wing
Yeah.
already. Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
I think the other one was hotter.
I think we have them in the wrong order.
We might have had the wrong order. Was that the hot garlic beforehand?
I think so. And this is the buffalo.
Because I was sweating before.
Yes. Okay, yes, I do want to point out you are sweating. I see the sweat on your upper lip.
I am. I'm feeling it a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
for
holding
sure.
it my own.
Okay.
But I think we mixed it up.
We failed. Yes, this is the buffalo. This was the hot garlic.
Hot garlic, but you know what? We still did it.
It's all right. It's okay.
This is 13 on your side. Hot Ones edition.
Oh, I love it. This was great. Thanks,
This is
Blake.
great. Cheers, everyone.